Hi, it's David here with Futures Trading. I want to make sure I satisfy your questions, Dimitri. I'm gonna take and do it this way, and of course you'll be clicking the link here to see what it is that I'm going to cover. But thank you guys for the likes that you guys had given here on the last upload that I made. I appreciate the participation. I'm glad you guys are stepping up a bit again because I don't plan to be, let me say this. I don't plan to be on here past January anyway. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't. I didn't come online to like, make a, of course, a long journey with this information. I'm trying to just kind of create a library, more or less. I just want to create a library. So come the first of the year, I was going to be dialing back the videos, completely. So I want to answer as many questions as I can before that time come. Okay, so I am going to be, of course, leaving you guys in January. I will do occasional uploads. I'll do occasional ones, but you may not hear from me as much. Okay, I just wanted to, of course, release some content that's simple and try to get you guys where you want to go. All right, so but we're gonna let's dive into that information. You said one, I think it was one o'clock to 2:30, somewhere in there. All right, so yeah, so I'm gonna try to satisfy whatever concerns that you guys may have about the content. I'm gonna try to do all that before January. All right, so and again, once January get here, you're still more than welcome to leave messages, and then I'll do my best to answer your questions. But again, the information here is for a library. I want you guys to be able to reference it whenever you want. I don't plan on maintenance in the channel too much longer. So let's get into it. Just want to show you guys what professionals do off screen. All right, and just want to put it right in front of you because there's so much stuff online, and it's just getting out of hand. That's all. It's just getting out of hand. Somebody need to just make it make sense and then simplify it. That's all. And I just want to be that individual to help you guys. So thank you for the participation. It's needed. All right. Now we had a turn here. I'm trying not to look at everything in a vacuum, so I'm going back just a little bit, because 1 o'clock over here, but we kind of want to see what was happening at right before 1 o'clock. So we had a turn here, so we were going up, and then we had a turn. Participation bar up here, no close. Participation bar here, no close. Participation bar here, no close. They're starting to turn. All right, so the mid of the reversal, it's this guy right here. Now, there's there's ways that the market needs to turn. I don't like this. I'll just say that I don't like it. All right, but it's happening. They're turning away. All right, so now here come your participation. All right, participation coming in. You have one, you have two, you have three, you have four, you have five, and that's six. You don't know any of this stuff is coming. So let's try to read it as it begin to progress. All right, so you had the no close. They tried to get on the way, but the mid keep falling inside the prior bar. Then the mid falls out of the prior bar. Okay, the mid falls away from the low of this prior bar. This pattern is absolutely in trouble. No question about it. You gave it a couple tries, didn't want to work, and now they're doing the opposite. Yes, this will get ran. They begin to move down. Your no close came in here. They closed above it. Are we going to get up? Mm-mm. So they run up to the back of this and then they turn around. And then they commence to do it again. The low, well, the mid beneath the low. You're not breaking this level, which this shouldn't have been no problem. I mean, really, you just this shouldn't have been no problem. I'm gonna be honest. Now I understand this could be a problem. I get it. This shouldn't be a problem. And I can tell you, some stuff about this, but this shouldn't be no problem. And they turn around and do this. Absolutely not okay. And so now you got this going on, all right? And now you begin to move up. Now if you go back to the consecutive close video, I did a video about consecutive closes beneath bars or pivots. Okay, so we get here. I did it a little bit, just a little bit differently up here, but I'm gonna try to do it down here. And you can go back once you look at this information. You can go back here and kind of pick it apart. But you get two immediately beneath this bar. One, two. you couldn't get to up here, above this bar. It just wouldn't come in. All right. So, you had one went up but came back down, then another one. That's not gonna work. 1, 2, they can go lower. Okay. Didn't want to give it to you right away again. All right, so okay, then they went up there, tested that, didn't want to, go. Okay, but then here's the fun part. They have this low here. Okay, now I'm gonna take and click on it, but I'm gonna do this first. I'm gonna click on it. All right, so now the low, let's do this. Low 22, close 21.75. So they came in one tick under that bar and they did it twice, quick, fast. This is a problem. And you created the pattern. Absolutely, they're right here. All right, not a problem. All right, so then they get down here, no consecutive. They wind up going down. Then you had, the two beneath this bar. They ran up there, gave you a rotation back, hit the no close here, came up, kicked that pattern, but still couldn't get above this no close. And remember, you got these two levels back here. All right, so now they roll back over. Here you go. 1, 2. Let me do this again. All right, so the consecutive beneath the bars or the pivots. That's important. This is a pivot, this is a pivot. They tagged it. Why are we not getting above that? That's a problem. All right, so now we roll back down and then you give the 1, 2 again. All right, now you give the 1, 2 from here. There's your rotation back into this low. No close. They're not closing right there just yet. All right, they ran up above this pivot here. They did. But of course, like I said, you got this information up here. Now let's see if this high is equal to this 1875. So they came in right under that price pattern. So they still was honoring the consecutive close, but it wasn't 7. And then you got this right here. This is the no close bar. Now look at this to the tick. All right, so let's get the low 1075, low 1075. All right, so then they turn around. This bar's high 1, 2. First, they responded, kissed the back of this level here, I believe. Let's see if that's what they did. High 26 and a quarter. 26 and a quarter, 26 and a quarter. Yeah, so they kissed it, came back under the no close level. So this is a no close level that they were respecting. Okay, they came all the way back under it, hit this to the tick. But from here, 1, 2. They can go. Just go and let them go. Now, right here, several wicks told to get it mid inside the prior bar. The mid is inside the prior bar. Remember, I told you guys, if you're new to the channel, I'll go over it just really quickly here, and then we're going to hurry up and dive into the rest of the information above. We have the mid here inside, resting inside of this bar right here. All right. When the mid is resting inside of that bar, the market is getting ready to, do this. They get ready to play with you. So you may run into that kind of problem, and eventually maybe that. All right. So maybe, just a maybe. All right. So mid inside of this bar. So you're still stalling mid inside this bar, but the direction is changing. All right. So you got two closes, 1, 2, and it's fast. And you got two closes above this pivot, both all in the same, right in this area here. Lean back down. You're not getting the 1, 2 straight away. So that's good. Not getting the 1, 2 straight away. You kind of got it here, 1, 2 straight away. But remember, this is the no close bar here. They're not closing above it, and they're not hitting that stop. They drive down and hit the no close here. Wind up getting a close, but they're not taking out this information here. Turn around, push up, break up new high. You got 1, 2 here. Okay, so you got the 1, 2 here. Consecutive closes. This is something I have already released online for you guys, so I don't have no problem covering it. It's really simple. 1, 2, and then you want 1, 2 above here. Now, Dimitri, I gave you a what is that that I had gave you? Oh, I forgot. It slipped my mind. I'm getting old, people. Do forgive me. But I gave you an outline. I'll just say it that way. I gave you an outline that listed some functions, Number 2, I want you to go with number 2. All right, number 2, the number 2 function. Remember, it's like literature. All right, remember, it's like literature. And I gave you the outline because you participate so well. I want people to know why he has the outline. And so I don't want y'all to think that it was something, available and y'all didn't get it. No, it's the participation that Dimitri put there. I wanted to give him something that kind of comes with my training. So I wanted to give him something that kind of gets him, in line with the chart in a way that no one really looks at it. Okay. And it helps you to see it. So, number two, please go look at the function, Dimitri. Look at number two. Number two is important because that's important. That's important. That's important. So, 1 2 1 2. Okay, really, really important. 1 2 1 2. And so they get above this high 1 2 1 2 from back here. They lean over. Now let's get into this stuff because I actually put a little bit of text in here because I know this stuff can get tricky right here. Really, really tricky. This not so bad because it is actually angling itself down. And so if you go to a smaller time frame, I'll say this to you guys: if you go to a smaller time frame, to make it simple for you, kind of trend distance. All right. So now this is a little tricky. Can be interpreted the same way in some degree. It can. I'm not going to draw too much in here. Kind of got this, and then I'm gonna just do this. Kind of walk it through a little bit. Just walk it through a little bit. All right. All right. So I want you to see it. All right. Now, but let's talk about rules because it's all about rules. And Dimitri, again, it's really important to yeah, yeah, you got to look at number two. Number two is something that make a lot of sense when you go and look at what all of this is. It will. All right, so here's the mid of the reversal. Got some wicks up here. I totally get it. Remember, you need several. The more, the better. Here you go. There's your mid here. Okay, they hit the mid, hit the mid, hit the mid. We should be taking off, right? But no, they wind up giving you a close above it. All right. Now, remember I told you guys that if it don't come in immediately, the price pattern, if it don't come in immediately, then where's the participation at? Because you had it here and that's how far they got. They couldn't even get past this. All right, now up here, it didn't come in immediately. It didn't. There's really no need for concern. Now, I can just tell you without any of this information here, I can just tell you there's one thing that I would absolutely tell you if you were in training. You can ignore this stuff without all of these rules. You can absolutely just ignore it. But let's look at it based on rules. Here we go. Mid, they close above the mid, the area is weak. All right. So you got to think majority is more than half. If you're going more than half into the flow, because this flow from above trying to come down, going to more than half, you're absorbing. All right. So now 1 2 3, we don't know all this stuff is coming. So they turn around. So here's the low. There's no consecutive closes. There's no consecutive closes. You come down, you break this low, totally get it. Now there's a consecutive close, from here. So that's here. You was up here, you came down, broke this pivot here. There's 1 2. I just didn't put it there, but you get it. There's a 1 2 here. So it happened from here. Now you want to see them do that 1 2 per bar, not just pivot. All right. So you got the, one down, one back up. Right here, well, you got to go with this one. You had two from here. So 1 2, they're here. All right. And it's the no close. They ran up there to the no close. Now let's get the high of this here. 72.50. 72.50. So they kissed it to the tick. That's the 1 2. All right. That's the 1 2 that kind of goes with the 1 2 from, the pivot here. Okay. So they kind of all gel together. So they got really ambitious here. Then they managed to turn around. You had the no close here, and just you can see how they were, just really flirting with that, and let's get this low here and let's see what happened. Low 63.50, low 63.75. All right, so they didn't break it. They went up and they gave you a break of this high. So this is the high. Remember, this is weak because of that mid was absorbed. Now, this is 1 2. All right. Now, if you notice here, I got blue arrows. All right. I got blue arrows because they stopped here, one down, back. Now, I'm going to do this. Close 68.25. This is a doji close 68.25. Right back there. That's not a close above. So that's one down, one up. That's not consecutive close. You ain't trying to go nowhere. And so then they turn around and let's see, can we do it again? You get one up and then you bring one back down. Let's get the close here. 68. What is the close here? 67.25. So they came in one tick under this bar's close. All right. Well, under the bar's high. Let's get the high. Let's make sure I get the high. 68.25. Make sure I get the high. 68.25. Close. 67.75. So they came in right under that. All right. So still not ready to go. All right. So then they come back down. Get the one up. Here's the high here. Let's get the high. 68. They closed above that, okay, but then they closed back down. Let me make sure they close above it. Close 68 and a quarter. So they closed above it by one tick, came back down. Just they're not ready to go. They didn't hit this stop. They didn't. So low 63, low 64, low 64 quarter, 64 quarter. All right, so they didn't hit that stop. They gave you the push up, broke the high. So now you got a new high. So this right here, new high, leg two. New high equals leg two. So you can come back under here, just don't pass this. All right, so and then they come turn back around. Now this is the thing: no consecutive closes, above the pivot or bar one. Now bar one is this one. So this is bar one. They get here and they're not doing the consecutive close. See, high 73.75, close 73.50. Okay, high 73.75, 73.50. All right, so no consecutive close here. That's not going to work. You're not ambitious enough to get up. If anything, it's coming from back here, and so that's why you got the rotation back this way. No close bar, and then they push up and then they break the high. No closes, no consecutive closes above this pivot. Go back, function two. Function two. Remember function two on the piece of paper. It's really, really important. Function two, here they do it. They add it. And then they turn around, and of course, this is bar one. There's no two closes, above this either. Once they broke that high, because they broke it here. All right, so they broke it on this. Let me get this out the way really quickly here. I don't want to have you guys on here too long. Here you go. So high here, 76.75. High here, 77. So they broke it. All right. So, but there's no 1-2 here. There's no 1-2. They're coming in just a little bit sooner than they were over here, just a little bit sooner, and you're getting the the 1-2 beneath this bar is low. So this bar is low, two arrows here. That's 1-2, 1-2. But from here you got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. We need 2 more to make a trend down. They of course fell right into this area here. They did. Now remember, this is the new high, leg 2. You can get past this, just don't pass that. All right, so then they turn around and now look at the behavior. All right, so they stopped here, and so let's get this high here. Let me move this out the way. Hold on. This is bar 1, high 63, close 63 and a quarter. So they came in 1 tick above this bar's high. That's 1-2 really fast. They're down here. Here's your participation. There's the no close under this bar. Here's the hard stop, and they're back on their way. All right, so I hope that makes sense. Again, on the channel, all of this have been made available to you. Again, rotation, minor rotation. They pushed up, minor rotation. They did not break this high. I want to make sure I touch on that too. I don't know if I did 72.50. I'm getting old, you guys. 72.50, 72.50. All right, then they drove back down, minor rotation back up. Okay, there's the price pattern. There's the price pattern. Minor rotation back up, came back down, test that price pattern. 6, not 7. Okay, and that's in this move here. Make a new high. You got to start all over again. And so, and then that's 5, not 7. All right, but all of the information I've already made available. You want to look for 2 closes above the bar itself. Can you get the 2 closes? The sooner that show up, it's just like the price pattern. The sooner it show up, that's participation, and it makes sense. You don't have to, again, you don't have to have a gap. And we talked about that in the last video. You don't have to have that. You just want to make sure they can give you 2. If they can give you 2, that's a good place to start. It's important. That's number 2 function, the number 2 function. All right. Remember, there's 4 of them, but that's number 2. All right. So I wish you all the best with your trading. Take care.